Some growth doesn't show up in results. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't look impressive from the outside. Nothing about your life may look different. Same routines, same environment, same unanswered questions. Because nothing has changed visibly. You assume nothing has changed at all, but some growth is invisible. We were taught at a young age that growth looks obvious. New titles, new bodies, new relationships, new milestones. So when progress doesn't look like that, we assume we're stuck. But not all growth creates movement outward. Some of it moves inward first, and inward growth is quiet, unphotogenic, easy to dismiss. Before anything changes on the outside, something has to shift internally. Beliefs loosen, patterns weaken, old instincts lose their grip. That work happens in silence. It happens when you pause instead of reacting, when you question something you used to accept, when you feel uncomfortable but don't run from it. Nothing about that looks productive, but it's fundamental. Visible growth looks like things you can't explain to others. You don't feel the need to argue anymore. You don't overshare to be understood. You don't chase closure from people who can't give it. No one sees that. There's no metric for it, no applause, no external validation. But those moments require more strength and more visible achievements do. Healing often looks like standing still, like resting when you feel behind, like pulling back instead of pushing forward, like saying no when you're taught to endure. From the outside, it looks like regression, like stagnation, like wasted time. But healing isn't about speed, it's about safety. And safety has to come before growth can continue. Some of the most important growth happens in rooms no one sees. Late nights with your thoughts, conversations you rehearse but never have, decisions you make quietly. You grieve versions of yourself in silence. You let go without closure. You change without permission. No one marks the moment, but you are not the same after that. Visible growth feels frustrating because there's no proof. You can't point to it and say, see, this is working. So doubt creeps in. You wonder if you're just stuck, if you're lying to yourself, if everyone else is moving forward while you're paused. But what you don't see is what the roots grow in the darkness. Nothing blooms immediately. Before anything rises, it has to anchor. Roots spread quietly. They take time, they aren't visible, but they determine everything. If you rush growth without roots, whatever you build collapses under pressure. Invisible growth is you building something that lasts. Sometimes growth looks like undoing, unlearning, people pleasing, unlearning survival patterns, unlearning the needs to prove your worth. That kind of work slows you down. Because you're not just moving forward, you're removing what was never meant to stay. That isn't delay, that's precision. You compare your internal work to other people's visible outcomes. You see their milestones, not their cost, not the results, not their process. So when your progress looks quiet, you assume it's wrong. But you're not behind, you're just growing in a way that can't be displayed. Invisible growth reshapes you gradually. You trust yourself more, you tolerate less, you feel discomfort without abandoning yourself. These changes don't feel dramatic, they feel subtle. Until one day, you respond differently without thinking. And that's when you realize something changed. Most people quit during invisible growth, not because it's too hard, but because it doesn't feel rewarding yet. There's no feedback, no reassurance, no confirmation. But this is a stage that separates surface change from real transformation. Staying here requires faith and work you can't yet see. Eventually, invisible growth shows itself in the boundaries you hold, in the choices you make, in the life you no longer tolerate. People say you changed, but didn't see the nights it took, the confusion, the patience, but you did. Some growth is invisible. Just because nothing looks different yet doesn't mean nothing is happening. Be patient with yourself. You're not stuck, you're not regressing, you're building something quietly, and one day, when things finally shift, you realize this was the most important growth of all.